Hello and welcome to WhiteDetails. What we're looking at here is an 1800 mile Range Rover SVR finished in Santorini black. The vehicle is a couple of months old now and it's booked with WhiteDetails for the full new car preparation package. Now usually with these videos it is mostly the transformations of the WhiteDetail, the gold package service that WhiteDetails offers when we pick up the camera. However, the owner of the SVR was desperate to have a video of their car. So actually this is a commissioned video for the owner for their new car prep and the journey of the SVR from before to after. So as you can see, the car is pretty dirty. It's certainly in need of a wash, never mind a detail and some protection added to the surfaces. And there's a few issues with the paintwork, but we'll investigate things here further a bit later on. So to start kicking things off, we're outside for the wet work, the wash and decontamination. Kicking things off with the wet work and the wash, the vehicle was raised to the off-road height on the air suspension to gain access to flush and cleanse the arches. Although the wheels will be coming off later whilst the vehicle is on the scissor lift, using a selection of brushes and chemicals, degreasers, all-purpose cleaners, we're delivering a pre-wash, if you will, at this time. And at the same time tackling the huge red calipers that sit behind the wheel. Although we can clean these later when the wheel's off the car, which we will do anyway, we can at least get the majority of the dirt off at this stage, working in between and behind the spokes. With the four corners sorted and the vehicle lowered down onto the access height, it's time for the door shuts to be cleansed and flushed under the bonnet, the boot, hinges, areas where the dirt and the grit, the loose, sandy, gritty, rocky, salty material is built up. Working these areas now before the pre-rinse stage, so at least we know that the hinges and the shuts are free of debris and otherwise damaged material. Start rinsing the whole thing. I'm just going to cover this camera because it's raining. I need to change you now for an old camera because you're expensive. After an extremely lengthy pressure wash to try and remove as much of the loose dirt as possible, this before we deliver the snow foam, a pH neutral snow foam is applied to the whole exterior of the body to allow us to work the nooks and the crannies with a detail brush, the intricate areas that a wash mitt doesn't otherwise reach. And for the pH neutral pre-wash to help break down any remaining film, traffic film or dirt present on the panels. So I'm not sure when he's picking up yet. No. Starting on the 2-bucket wash now, between us, starting high, working down, methodically around the car, taking a side of the car each. And then it's on to the first of the chemical decontamination stages, which is the tar removal stage. Come on. Oh, for f***'s sake. It was at this point the Range Rover decided to die. She wouldn't start. There was no life. There's no screen as you open the door that said Land Rover on the dash. The ignition would not turn on. The car had power. You can unlock it and lock it. The mirrors would fold. But there just didn't seem to be any spark. There's no screen. That should light up saying Range Rover.
You don't need the key in on these, do you?
No, it's just a push. At this point then, we're pretty much stuck. There's no life. We've tried the obvious. We've tried power packs and jump leads. The battery has power, but it's just not initiating. It's not turning on. It's not awake. After speaking to the owner of the vehicle, roadside assist were instructed to come see the vehicle, but they wouldn't send the AA out to us unless the owner was on site. So the poor owner of the SVR had to actually travel an hour and a half back to the vehicle from West Midlands just to be on site for the AA guys to be there. Meanwhile, indoors, inside, you're yet to see the car, but there's a JCW Mini which has been in for a new car prep also. And this actually, on the same day in the next half an hour, is due to be picked up. But currently, there's a large 3-ton SVR Range Rover blocking the access. Okay. I'm now forgetting about the camera because I need to concentrate. This ain't gonna go. No. Now doing a 3-point turn in the unit. When I say 3-point turn, perhaps it's a 7. If you can watch the wall for me, I'll watch this Rover. Bloody marvellous. Ed, we're out. She's outside, mate. The Range Rover's not moved, but the Mini's outside. She's all yours. Yeah, no, we can't. The jump leads there, everything, just there's no power to the Range Rover at all. It won't go. Looks... Yeah, okay. Alright, sorry about that, Ed. See you soon. Take care. Well, success, the Mini's out, which means it can be picked up, but the Range Rover remains. What you don't realise is I'm under a drying towel at the minute.
Well, this is the only car we've presented actually
Properly outside in the rain.
outside in the rain.
Yeah.
See, in 2.5 years. 2 years.
SVR's still stuck. The owner for the Mini's on the way, but we're at a dead end. The recovery's on the way. They're delivering 60 to 90 minutes, and the daft thing about it all is the owner needs to be with the car as well, so they're having to trek an hour and a half on the road to come back. Ugh, who knows what happens. Getting on close to 2 hours since the issue was first discovered, the roadside assist were able to get the SVR fired up. Various probes and pressing numerous buttons and finally a battery reset, the vehicle struck up and it had some life, and it allowed us to get the car indoors. At this point I'm feeling pressured behind schedule. The camera wasn't picked up for most of the wheels or the clay bar stage, but at least we were able to get the car onto the ramp, whip the wheels off, crack on. The inside, the door shuts were towel dried before the whole exterior was blown dry, and now we can start to assess the paint, ready for some polishing. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to detailing, you're thinking perhaps it's a new car. Polishing, assess the paint for polishing. Does it need polishing? Unfortunately so. What we're looking at the most part here are factory induced rotary buffer trails. Induced micro scratches and holograms that have been induced at the factory before, usually before it arrives at the supplying dealership. Induced because of an incorrect product choice or a dirty pad or working the polish too fast, working it too slow, larger area, small. There are a few contributing factors to rotary buffer trails being left behind, not to mention Santorini black. At the best of times, it's pretty soft. So it's difficult to get perfect unless you know what you're doing. And okay, this vehicle actually, new car prep, it's not actually a new car. It has 1900 miles on the clock, and I believe the vehicle has visited the roadside car wash at least twice, which the owner promises will never be happening again. Hence why there are more severe swirling, paint swirls, medium scratches present. Are you on the bonnet? I'll start on the boot and I'll do the letters first, I think. Come down and oh. Oh yeah, kill it all. Wow, that's good. For me, I'm on the back end, I'm on the tailgate, working around the letters by hand, polishing them by hand in between the lettering. With the Roupes hybrid to sit tight below and above and in between some of the spaces. Before digging out the Roupes 3-inch. Polish and pad combination, we have the Roupes yellow polishing pad and the ever faithful Sonax perfect finish. Perhaps a machine you haven't seen here before on this channel, the Roupes Duetto. The machine must be 6-7 years old now at WhiteDetails. But currently it's standing in for the LHR 15 because I was waiting on some brushes to be delivered. So the 5-inch pad is used on the slightly larger areas. Before we start again on the off side of the vehicle for myself, with the 3-inch, working the edges, making sure the edges and the angular sections that a big pad isn't going to reach, making sure they're tight before moving on to the big pad to fill in the spaces. As always, residue control is very important, but more so with this. It's a black vehicle, but also Santorini black, as I said earlier. It is a very soft paint. I want to make sure the surface is completely clean, so the Big Boy Blow R Pro is used to eliminate any fragments of dust or polish that's clumped and stuck to the surface, which is then likely to be trapped under the microfiber towel and potentially marring the paintwork. say progress isn't fantastic. Jumping out of the narration part, talking to the camera for a second, 528. Just trying to make up for a couple of hours from this morning's delay. We have this near side rear door wing sill, all the gloss black pillars, A, B, C, D pillar, big one at the back. The rear bumper, headlights, a few other bits and bobs, wing mirrors to polish. Paint's not perfect, it really isn't. It's had 2 or 3 bad washes from the roadside car wash already, so actually it ought to be booked for a paint correction. With timescales in mind, we're just having to tick off and complete what we can. Some of the buffer trails are taking a lot of shifting actually. But at the end of the day, once it is all fully polished and the wheels are back on, they've been dressed, the calipers are coated, the exhausts are sorted, the glass is done throughout, the paint's ceramic coated, it's gonna look spot on. Alright, taking a break from the SVR for a second. Through next door, we have a Ferrari 458 Italia. Here she is. Try my best not to show the registration plate on this. This isn't a customer's car. This isn't booked in the diary. This is literally here for 2 days storage. I don't know much about it. All I do know is that it's recently had £4,000 worth of respray work. Quite where? I'm unsure, but we can soon start to figure things out and piece it together. As soon as we introduce lights to the paint, look at the mess. The bonnet is just one big hologram, just tons and tons and tons of machine buffer marks on this. Whether this has been done by the body shop or if it's been done before the body shop or where or how or when, I don't know, but it's unsightly. It could very much benefit from some detailing treatments here. And then we start to look at the near side door. Oh, let me just kill the exposure. Look at the sender marks. We can see the remnants of a drip here. The drip's been flatted, the flatten marks are that heavy all across the panel. I can't see one bit of paint that looks pretty. Really ought to be talking this owner into a full white detail. Center marks continue on the near side wing. The side skirt looks sort of okay, swirls general, buffer trailing around the Pininfarina badge, but I'm guessing that's factory. Again, same story, sander marks. Truly shocking. If you're gonna have your car painted by hopefully a reputable body shop, oof. Ooh. I don't know, I'd like to say do a bit of homework, do a bit of research, but even then, sometimes this result can still come through. Up on the roof, trails, buffer trails. On the rear deck at the back, more buffer trails. There's a heavy edge on this offside as well, that perhaps could be factory. The end of the wing there that's connecting to the door. It runs pretty heavy down the side. Anyway, one poorly Ferrari and one pretty Range Rover SVR.
As a final push to complete the new car prep, the last remaining exterior detail is now the application of ceramic paint protection. This in the form of the upgraded Kamikaze Collection Zipan coat. Before Zipan coat is applied, a wipe over with Geon Prep is given to the surface just to ensure it's squeaky clean, all the residue is removed and there's a nice base for the ceramic to be applied to. Zipanco will add the protection, it adds the durability, the ease of maintenance, and an additional gloss to the surface. If the owner of the vehicle can decide to wash the vehicle themselves from now, it really will make their life easy, especially because the car is pretty sizable. At this point, I must apologise. There is zero footage of the interior being treated. Because the car was a used vehicle, it did need a wipe down, it did need a pre-clean before the leather was protected, the fabrics were protected. Of course, you will be seeing some footage of the interior. This will be in the after footage in the next 2 to 3 minutes. But otherwise, with the glass complete inside and out, some final tooth prickery, the grille on the front end, the final inspection, the vehicle is complete. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching. If you've liked the video, hit thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you in the next episode.